resolve. HQing's eyes were extremely stunned as he looked at the skinny figure, who had appeared beside him, especially when he saw that the figure's hand was gently pressing down on the red-faced old man's head. His eyelids involuntarily twitched. Who are you? I am Elder Huajian from the Northern Dragon Island. The red-faced old man's body completely stilled at this moment. His body did not dare move even a bit. He could sense the frightening strength of the hand on his head. His heart clearly understood that his head would explode into a cluster of bloody fog if this hand gently shook. Just where has this monster come from? Why was I not able to sense his approach? The eyes of the red-faced old man continued to flicker. His expression was also rapidly changing. Release your hand. Xiao Yan indifferently glanced at the old man and gave him a command. The red-faced old man's expression changed. He quickly rotated his eyes. I will count to 3 and we will release together. What do you say? Xiao Yan, kill him. He is an elite Ban Shang from the Northern Dragon Island and has a much higher status than me. It is worthwhile to exchange my life for his. Hei Qing's face turned purple as he softly roared. The red-faced old man's eyes turned cold. He immediately felt the desire to shatter Hei Qing's head, but he could only suppress the murderous desire in his heart the moment he thought about this mysterious person, who was someone he had never met. He asked in a deep voice, what do you think? All right. Xiao Yan smiled. All right, 1, 2, 3. The red-faced elder rejoiced. 3 numbers were quickly uttered from his mouth. After the last number sounded, he felt that icy cold hand above his head indeed shift. He hurriedly tossed Hei Qing aside and flew away with lightning-like speed. May I know who this friend is? This matter is entirely a matter of our ancient void dragon tribe. Friend, I hope that you will not intervene. The dragon kings of the 3 great dragon islands are only a short distance away. If they are attracted here, I think that it will be extremely difficult for you to escape. The red-faced man managed to clearly see the person who had intervened earlier after flying away. He was immediately startled after seeing that this person was so young. His voice was deep as he spoke. Xiao Yan acted as though he did not hear the red-faced man's cry. He lowered his body and helped Hei Qing up. After which, he took out a medicinal pill and stuffed it into Hei Qing's mouth. He laughed. How is it? It isn't enough to kill me. Hei Qing bitterly smiled and shook his head. He looked at the red-faced old man and regretfully said, you should have killed him earlier. This person is an elite Ban Shang. Killing him would have been equivalent to cutting off the flesh of the Northern Dragon Island. This kind of opportunity is not something that you can find all the time. Hei Qing's voice contained a feeling of great disappointment. From the way he saw it, using his life in exchange for that of an elite Ban Shang was incredibly worthwhile. Huajian, what happened? This unexpected change was also sensed by the half-dragon elder, who was fighting with Elder Zhu Li. He frowned and cried out loud. His attacks remained extremely ruthless as he spoke. His dragon claws were swung and a sharp wind forced Elder Zhu Li into a somewhat miserable state. Elder Zhu Li had been injured to begin with, so he was unable to defeat the other party. A problem has occurred. The red-faced old man, who was called Huajian, stared intently at Xiao Yan. He could sense a vague pressure from Xiao Yan. Hence, he did not dare to be careless as he replied in a deep voice. Bang! That half-dragon elder frowned upon hearing this. He suddenly threw a palm and forced Elder Zhu Li back. His eyes looked over and finally landed on Xiao Yan. Those eyes immediately narrowed as he cried out in a cold voice. Friend, interfering in the matters of my ancient void dragon tribe in this empty realm is not a smart decision. Xiao Yan. Elder Zhuli had also used this opportunity to sigh in relief. He looked at the human figure beside HQing and was also greatly surprised, but he appeared to have recalled something as his expression changed. His body moved and appeared beside Xiao Yan. He said, "Why have you come here? The matter here is not something that you can intervene with. Bring HQing and leave. I will protect you." Trying to escape? How can it be so easy? Friend, this is your last chance. The red-faced old man's eyes gradually revealed some unfriendliness as he stared at Xiao Yan and spoke. An intermediate Ban Sheng actually dares to act arrogantly in front of me. Xiao Yan slightly frowned. He suddenly took a step forward, and his body disappeared in an instant. The expression of the red-faced old man drastically changed upon watching Xiao Yan disappear. His body turned into a ray of light that hurriedly pulled back, but his body had just moved when a large hand penetrated the space in front of him and landed above his head. At the same time, an ice-cold voice was transmitted through the air. Move again and you will die. The red-faced old man's eyes were shocked as he looked at the figure that had slowly appeared from the empty space in front of him. A moment later, his somewhat hoarse voice slowly seeped out from between his teeth. You are an elite Dou Shang. The red-faced old man was not the only one who was stunned by Xiao Yan's attack. Even HQing and Elder Zhuli were completely astounded as they watched Xiao Yan move. They were unable to recover. When Xiao Yan had left the Eastern Dragon Island back then, he had merely been a 5-star Dozun. In just a couple of years, he had leaped from a 5-star Dozun to a Doushang? Damn, how can he expect one to continue living? HQing muttered in stunned disbelief. He had trained for many years, but he had only managed to climb to the 8th change peak of the Dozun class. There was still a great distance to the Bansheng class. In the end, Xiao Yan, who had been weaker than him back then, had already advanced beyond him. Xiao Yan pressed his hand against the head of the red-faced old man. He glanced at the red face that was gradually turning pale. After which, his finger gently pressed on the old man's forehead. With the press of this finger, a bloody hole ended up forming on the forehead of the red-faced old man. The aura of the old man's body quickly became weak. Xiao Yan randomly touched the man's body with his hand and a symbol appeared on the red-faced old man's forehead, sealing his Dou Qi. Xiao Yan completed all of these actions before grabbing the red-faced old man to move. He appeared beside HQing and randomly tossed that old man over. He laughed. There is no need to sacrifice your life to capture him. HQing was a little dull as he received the red-faced old man, who was in an unknown condition. The powerful and untouchable elite Ban Sheng in his eyes had become this useless in Xiao Yan's hands. Within a couple of minutes, that person, who had been acting high and mighty earlier, was no different than a dead dog. Gulp. Elder Zhuli by the side also quietly swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Even at his peak condition, he would have had to experience a bitter battle in order to defeat this person, yet in Xiao Yan's hands. This fellow, just how has he trained? He has reached this level within a short few years. No wonder he is a friend of the Dragon Emperor. He is indeed extraordinary. Withdraw. That half-dragon elder in the distance was stunned because of this scene. He recovered a moment later and a chill surged from his feet into his heart. A stern cry was decisively emitted from his mouth. Since the other party was able to capture Huizhan with such ease, that person was definitely a genuine Doushang. An expert of that level was not someone they could deal with. Remaining behind would only be sharing the same fate as Huajian. The half-dragon elder was the first to pull back after his cry sounded. Within a couple of flashes, he had appeared at the edge of the darkness. He needed to report this matter as soon as possible. At that time, there would naturally be some experts from the island who would finish this brat off. Xiao Yan, do not allow them to escape. Otherwise, they may end up alerting the enemy. Elder Zhu Li hurriedly cried out while feeling startled. He had not expected that old fellow to simply just run away. Xiao Yan grinned and nodded, but he did not move. His eyes glanced in the direction of the fleeing group. Around 2 minutes or so later, a ray of light suddenly flashed. Many figures rushed over from that direction and appeared in front of everyone. It was surprisingly Yao Ming's group. At this moment, they were holding some people in their hands. That half-dragon elder, who had fled earlier, was also among them. Haha, this old fellow is really cunning. But what can he do with just the strength of a mere Banshang? Yao Ming threw the half-dragon elder, who had been beaten unconscious, to Xiao Yan and laughed. Xiao Yan received this elder and sealed his Dou Qi up. After which, he tossed this person to HQing. His eyes landed on Elder Zhu Li as he laughed. This is the 9 serene deep-ground python tribe's chief, Yao Ming. 9 serene deep-ground python tribe? Zhu Li's expression changed slightly upon hearing this. His eyes cautiously looked at Yao Ming as he said, "It is rumored that the 3 large dragon islands have dispatched people to ask for other tribes' cooperation to deal with our eastern dragon island." Haha, this elder need not be worried. The one who agreed to cooperate with the 3 large dragon islands was that useless brother of mine. However, I have regained my tribal chief position from him. Yao Ming smiled and replied, "Now, I have been invited by brother Xiao Yan. If the eastern dragon island does not despise this help, my 9 serene deep-ground python tribe can lend you a hand." Oh. Elder Zhu Li was startled upon hearing this offer. His eyes landed on Xiao Yan. Only after seeing Xiao Yan nod with a smile did he reveal an expression of wild joy. Their eastern dragon island desperately needed reinforcements. What is the situation of the eastern dragon island like now? Xiao Yan asked. Elder Zhu Li softly sighed and shook his head. His voice was low and deep. Very bad. The 3 great dragon islands have poured all over this place. They have made up their minds to kill the Dragon Emperor before she can truly reach her peak. The eastern dragon island is in complete chaos. The Dragon Emperor has been surrounded by the 3 great dragon kings. A grave expression appeared on Xiao Yan's face. The situation of the eastern dragon island was worse than he had imagined. Go, let's head to the eastern dragon island. Xiao Yan slowly exhaled. The fist under his sleeve was slowly tightened. Regardless of how strong the 3 great dragon kings were, it was impossible for him to simply ignore Ziyan's cur.